Piers Morgan has made his feelings about Boris Johnson very clear. At the start of Wednesday night's edition of his talk TV show, the outspoken presenter started proceedings a little differently by emerging with a piglet in his arms. Piers used the barnyard animal to represent the outgoing Prime Minister, who is set to resign today after being hit with a tidal wave of resignations. So far, more than 50 Tories have quit the government, ranging from cabinet ministers to aides, with the revelation the PM knew about claims against Group-accused MP Chris Pincher proving to be the final straw. Always ready to stick the knife in, Piers began his uncensored show by telling viewers that Boris Johnson must go. The greased piglet of politics has slipped and squirmed through almost 3 disastrous years of disorder and deceit, he scathingly said. Get the news you want straight to your inbox. Sign up for a Mirror newsletter here. The camera then panned down to the pig that was calmly resting in Piers' comforting arms, a place many would rather avoid. He continued, 38 resignations in 2 days have butchered his government ad tonight, surely, nothing can now save his bacon. Piers has a lot of feuds with a range of famous faces, from Dan Walker to Meghan Markle, but this one with Mr. Johnson might actually be valid. Their beef really kicked off when the Prime Minister hid in a fridge to avoid being grilled on Good Morning Britain. In December 2019, Mr. Johnson was joining an early morning milk round in Yorkshire when Jonathan Swain approached the group. One of the PM's aides could be seen mouthing "Oh for F's sake" before Jonathan asked whether Mr. Johnson would come on the programme and deliver on your promise to talk to Piers and Susanna. The PM replied "I'll be with you in a second" and walked off, before a stunned Piers exclaimed, "Has gone into the fridge." A camera crew then followed the PM, who could be seen disappearing behind stacks of milk crates and into the large fridge at the delivery depot. A Tory source later stressed no one hid in a fridge and claimed Press Secretary Robert Oxley was not swearing at the reporter and was expressing general frustration. Following the incident, Piers tweeted, "Cowardice is never a good look." Piers laid into Boris when the Partygate scandal emerged at the start of the year, labelling the PM a complete disgrace during an appearance on the BBC's Sunday morning politics show. "I don't think jury is out at all," he said. The court of public opinion has come back and found him guilty of the most brazen rank hypocrisy. Piers mentioned that he had a cousin who could not see his dying father and a school friend who couldn't see her mother who died in a care home. He added, "All over the country, people have these kinds of stories, and they were horrific stories of separation, and yet the very people who were telling the country to do this were having a massive knees-up in Downing Street that night and carried on having these knees-ups throughout the entire pandemic. It's a complete disgrace. It doesn't mean he will go, but it does mean he should go because public trust in the government has surely been completely shattered." Then came a bizarre claim from Donald Trump, who said Mr. Johnson had intervened to cancel an interview with Piers Morgan ahead of the 2019 general election. During an interview for his show, the former U.S. president told Piers that the PM had advised him not to do a chat ahead of the general election at the end of 2019. Trump said, "I was over there, United Kingdom, as his guest. So if he asks me not to do that, I have to do that." When Piers asked why Mr. Johnson didn't want to talk to him, Trump replied, "I don't know. I didn't even ask him." Morgan said, the UK election was a few days later. I was told it was because he was worried that between us we might create something that may cost him the election. Trump then replied, "Well, I like him. I've always liked him. I think he's getting a little bit liberal, he's getting a little bit green." On his uncensored show on Wednesday night, Piers made a direct statement to Mr. Johnson. Comparing the situation to hit movie Goodfellas, he claimed Mr. Johnson was just like Joe Pesci's character, the only one who didn't know you were about to be whacked. "Tonight you lie in your Downing Street sty, refusing to go, behaving like the very greasy piglet the Daily Mail put on its front page last night," ranted Piers. "This little piglet may be finally running out of grease," he continued. "Let's face it, Boris, you're a zombie prime minister staggering on as the rotting leader of this dead government. You've bandaged the wounds by offering seats to the cabinet table to anybody prepared to take them. The British people have had enough, and it's their agonizing moans tonight that should really cut through to you. They have had enough." While speaking with political editor Kate McCann, who was speaking from outside the House of Parliament, Piers vented his frustrations once again. Piers told Kate, "I mean, look, the bottom line is, has gone. Has toast. Has kicking up the daisies, has an ex-prime minister, he just hasn't got the memo yet. What is he waiting for? I don't get it, it's so humiliating. Is he literally waiting for someone to drag him out?" Piers has continued to mock Mr. Johnson on social media on Thursday morning, labeling him a dead deluded prime minister behaving like a squatter. He tweeted, "For the love of God, Boris Johnson, resign. This is humiliating for you, toe-curling for the rest of us, and so damaging to the country. It's over, done, kaput. Pack your bags and get out of Downing Street. Do you have a story to share? Email webfeatures@trinitymirror.com."